Imagine. The team that has been digging for years, digging deeper every time they find some clues. But what Rick Lagina has discovered on Oak Island this time could prove to be the biggest twist so far. There was a nervous silence on Rick's face, as if he has revealed a secret that has been tried to be hidden for centuries. This was not a gold coin, nor an old brick or a piece of paper. This was a hidden hatch, a mysterious closed door made of iron, which was cleverly hidden under the ground. The question is, why did no one see it for so many years? And the biggest question, where does it open? When the team's camera reached that hatch, suddenly a gust of cold wind was felt, as if something is ready to come out of the darkness as soon as the door opens. Both Rick and Marty remained silent for some time. Perhaps they understood that now the story has come to a new and dangerous turn. Is the real treasure of Oak Island behind this hatch? Or is there a secret that the world is not ready to know? Watch the video till the end to know the whole truth, because what is about to open is not just a door. It could be the answer to an age-old mystery. If you also want to see the mystery of Oak Island revealed, then subscribe to the channel now, because what is going to happen next will shock you. Oak Island. You must have heard the name. This is not an ordinary island. This small island located in Nova Scotia, Canada, has been the center of people's interest, hope, and fear for the last 200 years. The reason? A treasure hidden here, whose stories still make people restless. Everything started in the late 1700s, when some young people saw a strange place on this island, a round mark on the ground and marks of cut trees around it. They started digging, and every few feet they found layers of wood, stones, coconut fibers, and strange things. That place is now famous as Money Pit. This digging gradually became an obsession. Many people came, companies were formed, digging was done. But till date, no one has been able to know what is under this land. Some people believe that this treasure was hidden by a secret organization called Knights Templar. These were the same people who once had the world's biggest wealth and secrets. It is said that they hid some secrets related to the Bible, sacred objects, or a large amount of gold in Oak Island. And then comes the 7 death theory. It is believed that the treasure will not be found until 7 people lose their lives in search of this mystery. So far, 6 people have lost their lives. And the countdown to the 7th is also scaring people. Amidst all this, explorers like Rick and Marty Lagina have now become the last hope to solve this mystery. Oak Island is not just a story of treasure, it is a puzzle that has brought together history, science, religion, and fear. And now, when Rick has found that secret hatch, it seems as if this story has now reached its biggest twist. Every new season of excavation on Oak Island brings new hope, and that's exactly what happened this time. Rick and Marty Lagina's team began this season's excavation around Lot 5 and the garden shaft. This is the place where some old objects, metal fragments, and signs of human activity had been found before. But this time the team was looking for something bigger, a sign that would point directly to the treasure. In the beginning, the team found some old carved wood and iron nails, which proved that there must have been an old tunnel or structure here. After all these clues, Marty decided to get a new ground scan done, this time with more advanced technology. The entire land was scanned with high-resolution ground-penetrating radar, GPR. When the scan report came out, the team was shocked. Some structural shape was visible under the ground, a part bent at a right angle as if there was a closed room or tunnel. The shape was not exactly below the garden shaft, but a little to the side, a place where excavation had not been done before. Rick immediately decided that the excavation would now take place there, because if the shape was indeed pointing to a room or entry point, then this could be the biggest discovery of Oak Island. The team started digging, and as they went down, the color, texture, and moisture of the soil kept changing. At a little depth, the metal detector gave a big signal, and from there began the most shocking twist of this season. Now the question was, is this the place where the real mystery will be revealed? Or is Oak Island going to confuse the team in some new trick once again? This phase of excavation was not just about removing soil, it was about opening the layers of history. As the digging progressed on Oak Island, the team was finding some small things, like old nails, burnt pieces of wood, or small metal parts. But till now, nothing had been found that would change the whole direction. Then, our metal detection expert, Gary Drayton, entered the field. Gary reached the spot with the same high-frequency detector in his hand, where the scan had indicated a structure. And then, suddenly, the device gave a tremendous reaction. This was not a normal signal. Very loud, deep, and continuous beeping. Gary immediately called Rick and Marty and said, "This is not a normal thing, friends. There is something big down here." The team started digging at the same point. Slowly, when the soil was removed, a thick, rusted iron piece became visible from about 6 to 7 feet below. But this was not a piece. It was a kind of flat, seal-like plate, like the upper part of a door. Rick bent down to the ground and looked at it closely. The metal structure was strange. It looked neither old nor new. There were no markings on it, no bolts or locks, just a heavy flat part, completely buried in the soil. Everyone's heart started to beat faster. Is this part of a tunnel, a hidden room, or the secret hatch mentioned in some old documents? Gary Drayton's face also became a little serious. He said, "Whatever this is, something big is hidden here." The team stopped digging so that they could move forward with full preparation, because now they felt Oak Island was ready to give something back. As soon as the digging reached some more depth, the team had an idea that something big and solid was hidden below. While clearing the soil, when they saw the complete iron structure, everyone's eyes were wide open. This was not an ordinary piece of metal. It was a sealed metal hatch, that is, a door that was hidden under the ground, completely closed and extremely strong. Rick Lagina himself bent down at that place, removed the soil with his hand, and looked at that hatch. He became silent for a few seconds. The expression on his face, it was enough to shake any viewer. This was the moment when Rick himself could not believe what he had discovered. The structure of the hatch looked very old. Thick iron plates, strong joints on the edges, and no handle or opening place on top. It seemed as if it was deliberately made in such a way that no one could open it easily. It was also rusted, which was proof that it was buried under the soil for years. Rick called Marty and said, "There is something very big behind this door." Marty also took a look and immediately alerted the team. Now we will not move even an inch without complete preparation. Gary Drayton checked again with his metal detector, and this time there were more signs around the hatch. That means this was not a single plate, but perhaps the entry point of some big structure or tunnel. Everyone's mind was filled with the same question. Is this the same secret door through which one can go to the treasure? Or is this the beginning of such a mystery, which will prove to be the scariest story of Oak Island? Whatever it was, there was something different in Rick's eyes that day. A sparkle, a fear, and a hope, all three together. When the heavy metal hatch was fully visible from the ground, a strange excitement ran through the team. Rick, Marty, Gary, and the rest of the team gathered around it. Now the only question was, will this door open? Rick first inspected it with his eyes. There was no handle, no lock, just a flat, rusted iron door, which seemed to have been asleep there for centuries. He called the team on his radio. "Get the crowbar and hand tools. We have to open it." Crowbars, sledgehammers, and other heavy tools were called for. Rick himself made the first attack, tried to insert the crowbar from the side, but the door did not budge. Gary also tried, then Jack Begley and 2 more people also joined. The 4 people together tried their best, but the door was so tight as if someone had locked it and swore that no one could ever open it. The effort went on for about 20 minutes. Tools were changed again and again, Angles were changed, but the door did not open. But then, when a heavy crowbar lifted some metal from the edge, a slight dap sound was heard from inside. The whole team stopped. No one spoke. Everyone looked at each other. Rick immediately made a hand gesture. Wait, there was something inside. No one heard that sound loudly, but the team's audio recorder also recorded some slight vibration. Now the question was, what was this? Did some air pressure break? Or did something move inside? Or some old mechanism got activated? Marty got a little nervous. He said to Rick, "We should call the experts. This is not an ordinary door." Rick's eyes had the same old sparkle, as if he knew that they were standing closest to history. Finally, the team decided that it would not be right to force open the door at this time. It might be dangerous to tamper with it without knowing what's inside. But one thing was certain. This hatch was hiding something, and that sound, it was a sign that Oak Island was no longer silent. The door that had been closed for centuries was probably now preparing to open itself. The day the team saw the mysterious hatch on Oak Island and made the first attempt to open it, something happened that shocked everyone. And it all started suddenly, without any warning. As soon as the team stopped digging and started recording the surrounding environment, the first thing that happened was that the main CCTV camera stopped working. This was the same camera that always runs 24/7 and records every digging. At first, it was thought that there might be a problem with the wiring, but when the team checked it, everything was fine. Neither the wire was cut, nor the battery was down. After a while, one by one, the other devices also started to stop working. Gary Drayton's metal detector, which was giving signals continuously till now, suddenly went completely silent. Then the team's drone lost signal while flying and fell straight to the ground. Marty's walkie-talkie also started malfunctioning. The sound stopped coming, or a strange echo started coming in between, as if someone was whispering from a distance. Rick knelt down on the ground and looked around and said, "This is not a coincidence. There is something in this place that wants to stop us." The team's technical expert said that the GPS signal was also being disturbed at that place. The equipment was changing the location and showing disturbances, as if some invisible magnetic force was present nearby. And all this was happening only around the place where the hatch was found. Now questions started arising. Is the curse of Oak Island true? The old theory came alive again. The treasure will not come out until 7 people die. So far, 6 people have died, and there are only guesses about the 7th. Some people even started saying that maybe someone has deliberately installed a security or warning system on the hatch, so that if it is tampered with, the system gets damaged and people get scared. Marty told Rick, "We should call a professional team, science and engineering." But Rick, after remaining silent for a while, said only one thing. "Oak Island is trying to tell us something and we cannot ignore it." After this strange disturbance, the digging was stopped. But one thing was certain. This was not an ordinary discovery. There is something inside this hatch that does not want us to move forward. Oak Island was now really starting to look alive. When Rick and Marty Lagina found the hatch and things started to get weird after the dig, cameras shutting down, devices failing, Marty pulled out an old file he had had for years containing many old documents and maps. One of those maps was one he had received in the 90s from a local Nova Scotia man who claimed his grandfather was involved in the treasure hunt on Oak Island. Marty laid the map out on the table, yellowed paper, torn in places, and with burn marks along the edges. But the real surprise was, there was a big X marked in one specific spot on the map, and that was the exact location where the team had found the mysterious hatch. Rick was silent for a few moments when he saw the X. He told Marty, "We've seen this map so many times, but we never thought it could be so accurate. The map had no modern measurements or coordinates, but they matched the trees, mounds, and ground contours, and everything matched the location exactly. This begs the question, If someone marked the spot 100 years ago, what did they know? Did the man's grandfather excavate there? Or was it just a copy of another old map? Marty said the map was never taken seriously before, because it had no date or concrete evidence. But now that the reality matches the location, it doesn't seem like a coincidence. Gary Drayton noticed some faded symbols on the edges of the map, like old religious symbols or the markings of the Templar Knights. Seeing this, Rick said, "If this map is real, it means someone already knew what was hidden here." After this revelation, the team's focus became even sharper. Now they weren't just digging. They were trying to uncover an old warning, a secret sign, and maybe a century-old plan. This X was no longer just a mark. It was a door to a secret that had been buried in the soil of Oak Island for centuries. And maybe now it's ready to come out on its own. When the mysterious hatch was fully revealed on Oak Island and strange things started happening around it, cameras shutting down, devices not working, soft noises being heard, a question resonated among the team. What do we do now? Open or wait? Rick Lagina's mind was made up. He wanted to open this hatch. To him, it wasn't just a metal door, it was a path that could take them closer to the treasure they've spent a large part of their lives searching for. The look on Rick's face was clear. He didn't want to waste this moment, but on the other side was Marty Lagina, more sensitive, more practical, and maybe even a little timid when it came to risk. "Rick, from what we've seen so far, this is not part of a normal structure. There could be something else down there. Gas, water, a trap, or an old security system," Marty said. Rick replied, "And if this is the door through which we can reach the treasure, will we just keep waiting with folded hands?" Marty interrupted, "We should call the experts, engineers, safety team, so that whoever is inside can come out without putting our lives at risk." Rick said with some irritation, "You are always afraid, Marty. Every time something big comes up, you say wait, think, call the experts. But Oak Island does not wait for anyone." The atmosphere became heavy for a few moments. The whole team was silent. On one side was Brothers' enthusiasm, on the other side was Brothers' worry. Both were right from their own point of view. Finally, Marty showed some leniency and said, "Okay, Rick, but on one condition. We will not open it without security. Cameras will be installed again. Gas detectors and safety equipment will be turned on. And if anything seems dangerous, we will all back off. No need to be a hero." Rick nodded and said, "Let's get ready. Whatever's behind this door, it won't be hiding for long." This argument made one thing clear. The team was no longer just searching. They were at a point where one wrong move could ruin the mission forever, or make history. When after a debate between Rick and Marty it was decided that the hatch would not be touched without proper preparation, the first step was to get an underground scan done. Marty called his technical team and said, "We have to know what is actually under this hatch, otherwise this digging is no less than a danger." Then came the ground-penetrating radar, that is, GPR machine, which scans the surface below the ground and makes a digital map of its structure and depth. The team set up the machine, installed sensors all around, and slowly the scanning started. Everyone's eyes were on the screen, where a new mystery of Oak Island was going to be revealed in a short while. In the beginning, the normal layers of the ground were visible: soil, rocks, water moisture. But after a few scans, the machine started showing a strange shape. That shape was right below the hatch, at a depth of about 10 to 12 feet, something like a sealed room. What was visible on the screen was not any natural formation. It was completely square, as if someone had built a room with bricks or stones, and a narrow path was also visible attached to it, as if there was a tunnel which went from that room to somewhere else. Pointing towards the screen, Rick said, "Look, this is the real door. We are not just standing above, we are standing right above the thing that people have been looking for centuries." Marty also nodded, but now his worry had increased further. He said, "If this is a tunnel, then we also have to know whether there is air in it or not, whether there is gas or water inside? The technical team replied that at present that shape looks solid, but what is the condition inside, it cannot be said without physical investigation. This meant clearly, something is built inside, and it seems to have been built by humans. After this revelation, a new energy ran through the entire team. Now it wasn't just a closed hatch. It was a passage to a secret room that held perhaps one of the greatest treasures or mysteries in history. Rick finally whispered, "We've never been this close before." The door speaks for itself now. Come and see what's inside. And now, the whole Oak Island seemed to hear the echo. As soon as the Oak Island team found that mysterious hatch and the news related to the excavation came out, the whole internet suddenly heated up. Social media, especially Reddit, Twitter, and YouTube, was in a storm. People started analyzing video clips, photos, and the team's reactions frame by frame. It seemed as if everyone was engaged in solving this mystery. A thread went viral on a large community page of Oak Island on Reddit. Is this the entrance to the Templar Vault? That is this the same path through which the Knights Templar hid their sacred treasure? People made a whole theory by combining old maps, Templars' religious symbols, and the location of Oak Island. Someone said, "This door opens directly to the place where the Holy Grail is hidden." Someone wrote, "Templar had hidden some such things which the Church still hides from the world." Then came another theory, alien base theory. Some people believe that Oak Island is not just a treasure house, but an extraterrestrial point, that is, an alien landing zone. They said that this hatch is part of a secret tunnel that is connected to an unknown civilization built inside the Earth. Someone shared an old scan image which showed some round shape inside the tunnel, and claimed that this cannot be human construction. The third and most frightening theory was government secret project. Some Reddit users said that the real control over the excavation of Oak Island is with the government, and Rick Marty are just on the front. People suspected that there is some project hidden inside that should not be shown to the general public. Perhaps some old technology, biological weapon, or ancient energy source. Oak Island started trending on Twitter. There was a flood of memes, speculations, and conspiracy theory videos. Someone wrote, "If Netflix makes a documentary on this, I will binge it in one night." Many channels on YouTube started live streams, with thumbnails like real-time Oak Island updates, Templar truth revealed, Rick's last move. Amidst all this, Rick and Marty were silent. There was no official statement from the team, and perhaps this silence was agitating social media even more. One user rightly wrote on Reddit, "Oak Island is no longer just an excavation. It has become the internet's biggest detective story." And really, now all eyes were on the hatch, which was not open, but which had opened the minds of the whole world. After finding the hatch, when the whole team was swinging between a strange nervousness and excitement, some people were desperate to open it, while some were scared and cautious. Then Rick Lagina made a statement that shook everyone's thinking. A small meeting was held among the team. Marty raised the issue of safety, the technical team explained the risk, and the other members suggested that we should wait for a few days. But Rick remained silent for some time. Then he said softly, "Now we cannot retreat." There was no anger in his voice, but there was depth, as if he himself was trembling from within, but still had decided to move forward. Rick looked at everyone and said, "What we have discovered can change the story of Oak Island forever. This is not just a metal plate. This is a door to a secret that has been buried in this ground for centuries." Marty tried to explain again. "I understand, brother, but what if we hurry and there is some danger inside?" Rick replied. "What risk have we not taken till now? Have we not put our homes, money, lives at stake for this one secret? And now, when we are very close to it, should we back out in fear?" The rest of the team members also slowly started agreeing with Rick. Jack Begley said, "I say Rick is right. Whatever is behind this door, it must come out now. Rick further said, "We have given years to Oak Island, but maybe now Oak Island is ready to give us something that we had never even thought of." There was not just passion in his words, there was a confidence, as if he was convinced from within that this hatch was the real clue. This statement of Rick was later shown in an episode of the show and went viral on social media. People started saying, "Rick will not back down now, and perhaps the biggest secret of Oak Island is about to be revealed." After that moment, everyone knew. No one was going to stop now. The door would open, no matter who was behind it. And the sparkle in Rick's eyes clearly said, now the story is about to change. Now all eyes are on that one door, that mysterious hatch, which could become Oak Island's greatest discovery, or its most dangerous mistake. Rick and Marty's team are now planning to open this hatch. Experts are being called in, safety equipment is being installed, and every corner is being investigated to find out what this door really is. But the question still remains, is it safe to open it? This could be the beginning of a treasure, a sacred room where gold, manuscripts, or Templar secrets have been hidden for centuries. Or it could be a trap, an old warning that ignoring it could bring doom. The whole world is now waiting. Will Rick open this door? Or will this secret remain closed forever?